I'm Adam Fousek. My job title is Vice President of Engineering, and I work for a Union Bank and Trust company. So Securonix is a SIM solution for us. It is, in our deployment, it's a software as a service model, so it's a hosted solution, and we are feeding several log sources to it and correlating logs, searching, building alerts. So it's our primary tool for analyzing logs and alerts for our entire environment. The most important feature is for it to be reliable and scalable. So it is able to ingest the amount of logs we need in a timely manner, and then make those logs available to us for search in a very quick, reliable way. And then also, since it is capable of doing UEBA, so the anomaly detection, easy to create rules, and then as we build those rules, in some products we've used it in the past, those would cause performance issues, but with Securonix, that hasn't been an issue. So I guess the ability to create rules and alerts in a reliable way is also very important. Where we're at right now, I would say the benefit we've seen is really on reducing the number of alerts from stuff that we can tune out easily. Previously in the solution we used, there wasn't that flexibility, and so we got a lot of alerts that we knew were false positives that we easily just dismissed. But that took somebody's time to look at all of those and mark them as a false positive. So Securonix has been easier to set up alerts that are easier to tune, I guess, so we can exclude certain log source types. That option wasn't available in solutions we've seen in the past. So I guess, I don't know about advanced attacks, but what we've seen is just the ability to tune out stuff that we don't want to see, so that we are focused on real events. And so that's been the biggest benefit. So one example is they have an alert for randomly generated domains. So it's using our web gateway information to look at domains that our users are going to, and the ability to look at randomly generated domains and then investigate what those are, if anyone actually submitted anything to those. So we have seen where phishing domains are very popular. So some users clicking on phishing emails, going to randomly generated domains that are spoofing login sites. So those have been some things that we found that we hadn't seen in the past. The way that Securonix is able to put a lot of the contextual information into the events is very helpful, and so that's reduced the amount of time having to go see that, hey, this might be something I need to look at, and then go do a bunch of research. It puts all of those violations in one event or a case, so that you can look at different types of violations that all correlate. So that has reduced the amount of time for researching some of those cases. I don't know, it's dependent upon the scenario, but in some cases, sure, it could save an hour of going out and doing a bunch of individual searches. The fact that we're using software as a service, and so Securonix is hosting the infrastructure, has been a huge win for us. Before, we managed all of our SIM on premise, and so we had an appliance and we had to perform operating system patches and upgrades to the system itself. So getting it stood up was easy. We had nothing to do. They just told us when it was ready. And then we just had to set up all of our log collection to what their remote ingestion node, and then send that up to the cloud. Setup was definitely easy, and we've been able to onboard a lot of our log sources really in the first month, and then it's just a lot of tuning from there. So yeah, initial setup was much easier than our previous experience. I think some of the user experience when doing threat hunting, being able to see multiple types of analytics from different log sources in one view would be beneficial. Right now, there's some limitations around that. So some of the user experience when doing threat hunting, I think, could be improved. That's the main point that I've seen that we're working with them on. Technical support's been amazing. We have a lot of different security companies we work with, and most of them, it's very difficult to get competent folks to help, and that's been non-issue with Securonix. We meet regularly. Any issue we've had, they've had prompt resolutions. Customer support and making sure that we're successful has been one of the best features that we weren't even looking for during evaluation, but that's what we found. Return on investment, I guess, having my security team focus on their job and not maintaining a SIM has definitely provided a lot of value. And then in addition, not having issues with just base functionality. We ran a different SIM for over 5 years, and if anything was tweaked, then we'd end up having support tickets and spending time just resolving, making the thing work. Not having to deal with that, it's hard to measure exactly the value, but it's been very refreshing that we're actually focusing on improving our security instead of just making the log system function. I would say a 9. The core functionality is the best that I've seen in the market. Being able to execute on ingesting logs, building alerts, looking at anomalies, providing fast search, being able to provide an extensive amount of time available to search is a huge win for us. We're often investigating stuff that happened a long time ago. The only thing that I think we could work on is the user experience when doing threat hunting, and they've been open to looking at that and exploring that, so I think that will improve also.